a number of safety guidelines have been prescribed by the fire department. Were any of them in place?
Well, even last year there was a fire accident. 2 years back there was again a fire accident in which more than 10 persons died. Supreme Court guidelines are there. There are safety guidelines which says that children should not be employed. Number 2, there should be enough ventilation and enough escape routes to ensure that all of them can escape. And number 3, also one of the important rules it says is how the fires have to be handled, what are the masks and other materials that needs to be given to the workers, and also where it does firework materials and explosive materials have to be stacked, and away from which any electrical items and the kitchen items should be kept. There are series of rules, but from what the description we are getting in the ground, the police are not able to even enter the premises because which means there were more stocks probably in the industrial area. Of course, it's premature to conclude, but this is what it looks like. There was more stock, there were more explosives present than the prescribed norm, and also the structure of the building, which is probably hampering the process of rescue and operation. So all these things initially very premature, but still initially from the look of it, it might be that the rules are violated.
Priyamvada, the biggest concern is the blaze itself under control now, because most of these cracker factories are cheek to jowl in that entire area. Is there a danger that the blaze could spread to other areas, the adjoining factories maybe?
That's the biggest concern, because there are at least 100 fire factories in and around Sivakasi area, because it's one of the important industries in the area, and most of them in the area survive on this particular business. So now what has happened is nearby also there are many cracker factories. So as the SP was also pointing out, most of the dead were onlookers who had come. So which means the fire was spreading so fast. The flames was spreading so fast. The fire, I mean, it was exploding. So there are dangers of it spreading further to other places. So there are also efforts taken to ensure most of the people, the factories, people working in the nearby factories are evacuated and moved to a safer place.
In fact, we just like to tell our viewers, these are the images, the first images that we are getting to you of the actual spot of that unfortunate accident. Over 20 people already reported dead, several more injured. What's even more worrying is that several might still be trapped inside that firecracker factory where a fire broke out, killing 30 people. Priyamvada is getting us the latest from the ground. The ambulances, the fire tenders, are they all there at the spot, and what headway have they been able to make in the rescue operations, Priyamvada?
Well, there are at least 2 to 3 ambulances which are present, and 4 to 5, 6, around 6 fire tenders, let me correct, 6 fire tenders which are present in the premises. But the dousing process has not been so fast because of the explosion, the fear of explosion. So they're handling it very carefully, and there is also the crowd management that they're trying to do, because a lot of people had gathered. It's a small area. When they heard the first explosion, hundreds of them had gathered around the area, of which around 20 of them, I'm being told, are dead. Apparently 20 of the onlookers died. Those were the dead bodies that they have been able to remove and send it to the mortuary. They were able to remove only 10 dead bodies from inside the factory. But remember, around 300 persons are working inside that factory. So there are probably more persons trapped inside and more dead bodies present inside, which the police have not been able to access at this point of time.
Have you been able to get reports of any eyewitnesses to the accident? What are they saying about the actual cause of the accident? Of course, that won't be certain till some time, but what are the eyewitnesses saying? What is the sequence of events?
Well, around 12:30, they heard an explosion from the Shakti factory. It's a private factory in Sivakasi. So many of them came out running to see what happened, because in this season, Diwali season, it's quite common for small explosions to happen in this area because there are a lot of fire factories. And they saw huge flames coming out from one. They saw it in the front gate. They saw huge flames going up. And the flame was so big that it was slowly and steadily it was spreading. And there were also instances that one of the particles from the particular factory was thrown and scattered to a nearby place, and there was an explosion in the nearby place. So it was like a series, it was like a trail, one after the other. Explosions were happening, and slowly it engulfed the entire area. This is what some of the eyewitnesses are saying.